What's up, everybody? Tweeting Nick Mention today. We're coming at you with a Reiju Deck profile that I have been playing with, and I used at a local the other day, and ended up getting second at that local with this profile. The matchups were against it was Katakuri, Gecko Moria, blue, green. Oh my God, green blue Zoro, the new one that comes out of the starter deck, and then my last matchup was against Gecko Moria in the finals, which I lost. Um, but this deck was absolutely fantastic. It functioned the way I thought it will, and it's fun to play. This is probably the most fun I've had with One Piece in a while. I mean, I have fun with a lot of decks right now. My main deck is more Gecko Moria, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. But this deck is just crazy. You just summon things and draw. It's fantastic. Well, if you guys can do me a favor, like, dislike, comment, subscribe, do all those things you got to do. Of course, I'm going to have more One Piece content. After this deck profile, we're going to go and play some matches and just show you how this deck functions and and all that stuff. So if you guys can do that, I would appreciate it. So leader Reiju, I think you guys all know what she does. Dawn -1, draw one card once per turn during your turn. Just draw a bunch of cards. It's sick. Um, it's just the amount of the hand size that I have every single time I summon a Smoke is just ridiculous. So yeah, really good stuff. Kaya is fantastic. Draw two, mill two. So she lets me filter through the deck. I can go and grab two cards, and then I can go and pitch out the other Smokes that need to go to the trash that I don't care about. That I can summon regardless. So really good card here. Run 4 Varant. She's a 2K counter as well. Pudding saved my butt in one of my matches where the Gecko Moria player had like 8 cards in hand, and I reduced it to 5. So that was really cool. So nice -3 there. I run just 2 of her for now. Some people run her at 4. I think 2 is fine because I'm gonna see this card regardless because of the amount of draw that I have. So 2, I think 2 is fine. 2 double finger might bring her to 4. Don't know yet. I don't know if I need more 2K counters. I feel like what I have is enough so far. Just 2 of her. You could summon her and ramp it down if you want, or just pitch her for 2K. That's all she is. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck. Right now it's at 3. I'm gonna bump this to 4. At 3, I mean, like I said, I see everything. So these guys, the little Smokes being at 3 each, really doesn't matter. I just see everything because of the amount of draw power I have. So, but he's clearly the best card in this deck. Like one of the best cards in this deck. He's the best Smoke by far. ECG 4, of course. You want 4 of these guys. He has rush. He's a 7 cost, so he's not hard to remove, but he's got an awkward number where you have to do like Ice Age and then do the removal, or you would have to spend a lot of cards to get him down to 2 to do the removal. Like for example, you would have to do something like, if you don't have Ice Age in hand, you'd have to do something like summon Helmeppo, and then from there play the Great Eruption, which is -2. So then, actually, no, is that enough? Yeah, that is enough. So it's -3 for Helmeppo, and then -2 for the Great Eruption, and then he get him onto, and then you can remove. So he has a really awkward number, and it takes him down to get rid of him. And he's also -2,000 on character, so really good stuff. Judge, you rarely play this card, but you just put him in. His effect is nasty, though. If you can get him off, you can resummon all your Smokes again that you just got rid of, and just go on the next turn and win the game, basically. That's all you do with him. And I'll tell you how I get him out when I can, the only way I can, and I'll talk about that in a second. Smoke Sora, this card surprised me. Basically, if you have less down on your opponent, pitch a card, grab one of the little Smokes, which is 4,000 or less, put them back to your hand, and then you can summon one of them. Then you can just play them right afterwards or whatever you're going to do from there. She's really good. I usually summon her just maybe one time. The rest of the time, she's just a 2K counter. Niji probably is a really good Smoke. Basically, Dawn -1, trash this card, summon this one, and this Niji is really, really good. Return a 4 cost back to hand, or KO a 2 cost. I mostly bounce back 4 costs. Like for example, you have a hard time getting rid of Borsalinos and stuff like that. So I love to bounce him back to hand. Gets rid of the blockers, anything like that. Really solid card, and he's 6,000 attack if they leave him on the board. So really good. Reiju, by far, like, ridiculous card. She's amazing. Draw 2 cards if you have equal to or less down to your opponent, and from there, if you have 5 or less cards in hand, you draw 2. And just draw 2 is absolutely fantastic. This is how I draw all my cards. Is just like this. It's ridiculous. Do keep in mind you need to pay attention to what you're doing because you can make a mistake where you summon Reiju, activate this card's effect first, then this. Keep in mind if your hand size goes more than 5, you cannot use Reiju. So you have to go her first, then this. Every single time. Okay? That's basically what you do, and you can't. If you do that all the time, you won't screw it up. Queen. This card draws you 3 cards because of the effect. Okay? So what I mean by that is you summon Queen, draw 2, pitch 1. If you have not used her effect yet, you draw another card. So this effectively draws you 3 cards, and it's ridiculous. Queen is fantastic. Again, has 5 cost here, so a little bit, for black, it's a little bit awkward to remove him. You need a couple things to happen just to remove him. Really good card. He's a blocker. You can use him as an attacker if they don't get rid of him next turn. So really good stuff. Right now, Red Rock's just at 1. This card just might just absolutely go away. I have not used it at all, and nor has it ever come up. So I might just remove this card and add another pistol, or just go to the 4 Niji, which I talked about earlier. This card is good. Now, we're going to talk about the judge play that I'm talking about, okay? This card moves 2 6 cost or less. Now, why that is very, very good for you. This gets rid of Sabos. This gets rid of Borsalinos. Anything 6 cost or less. So what I like to do is when I know I'm going to the 7 Dawn turn, and I have Judge in hand, what I end up doing is I make the decision depending on how much life I have and depending on my hand size and also the kind of stuff. There's a couple of factors. Basically, I want to summon him and it's not gonna be bad for me, right? So what I end up doing is on the 7 Dawn turn is I swing out first with whatever I have, and then from there I go and I remove the 2 characters, like 2 blockers that are there. So if it's a Borsellino Sabo or whatever the case may be, I just bottom deck both of them. And what that ends up doing is that puts my opponent back down 2 characters on his turn. And what that does is that frees up Judge for next turn. And I can just summon Judge, summon out all my guys, because that puts me at 9 Dawn. And what that ends up doing is once I summon everyone, I still have a Dawn left to use, so I can use that Dawn to attach to someone, to attack, or whatever the case may be. So this card is fantastic. This is all I need in removal, to be honest with you. That's why, Red Rock is there to get rid of, like, kids and stuff like that, because this deck doesn't really have much of doesn't have a lot of removal, so you need to find a way to get rid of like those 8-cost kids, 10-cost Doflamingos, all that. But you should be winning the game before that happens. You should be putting a lot of pressure on your opponent with EGGs and all that stuff. But this card's fantastic. Gatling saves my ass. You want to pitch a card anyway, and it's plus 3,000. Your opponents don't expect it. This card is really good. You should be running this. Right now, 2, German 66. I might bump this to 3. We'll see. Having it at 2, I always see the card anyway because of the amount of draw that I get from this card and the draw power that I have in general. Like, I always see this card. I never not see it. So I have just run this at 2. This card's at 4. Look at the top 3 cards. Whatever. Grab a Vin Smoke. You're done. So that is a deck profile and a little bit of the method of the madness, what's going on here. Let's see if we can get some games in while we're at it. Before my dogs start barking, because they will in a minute. We're going to host a game and see if we get one. But, yeah, no, the deck is very, very, very fun. I had a blast with it. The fact that I got second with it, playing it just a couple times, I'm having fun with it. Problem is, like, I feel like I do well into a lot of the matchups. Of course, the ones that I think I'm going to be having the issues with is probably Perona, most likely Sakazuki, because Sakazuki is just the best deck in the format. And that's about it, honestly. From there, I don't think I'm going to have a lot of issues into a lot of matchups. Against Katakuri, I felt fine, which is very weird to say. Against Moria, I felt okay in that matchup as well. The last matchup I had against Gecko Moria was I couldn't get the blue Vin Smoke. I couldn't get Niji out at all, or Ichi, or whatever his name is. Couldn't get him out at all, and if I did, I had a situation where I could have summoned Queen, drawn 3 cards, and then I could have bounced back his 4-cost blocker, or the 4-cost Lucci he had out, and if I was able to do that, that would have helped me out clearing the board a bit, and I had a blocker out on board, and I had a whole bunch of counters in hand to survive, and if I survive, I just win the game next turn. That game, I surprised him with the play I was talking about with the Gravity Blade. We're going to go. We got a match. All right, we're going to go first. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I Gravity Blade 2 of his blockers, and then I summoned Judge, and we're gonna mulligan this hand, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is good. And then from there, I was able to. Oh, look at that. We get a Reiju. Look at that. Sick. Return those to the bottom and do this. Zoro I've not played against, so I don't know how this is going to go. I'm probably going to lose here. And everything I said just goes. Luckily, we have pudding in hand, so if he gets a big hand size here, we'll be fine. All right. So we're going to do this. And this is the order you have to do it in. Because right now, look at my hand size. It's at 5. If I were to... So we're going to do this right now. If I were to activate Reiju's effect first and then this, I won't be able to get the draw to. So you have to do this first. Well, actually, I have 4 cards in hand. Never mind. So boom. Get my 3 cards. And then we'll just swing for 6. And we'll see if he counters now. Okay, cool. So if his hand size gets pretty big, we're going to drop a Reiju. That's what we're going to do. Okay, double mecha. Oh. His hand size is at 7. We could just counter this, and I think I will. I'm just going to counter like this. Just to get the hand size low. There we go. Draw. He's at 7. We're not going to do it yet. Right now, we don't have much to do. We have 7 cards in hand, so I can't use Reiju's effect. So here's what we can do. We can filter now. And really good. Okay, so dump that. And we could dump a pudding, and then we'll use this. Do this and select a card to trash. I don't know. Let's trash a queen because we have 4 on deck. We're going to grab this guy. We could just... Normally you grab this, but this is okay. We can... Basically, we're going to filter to get this guy to summon is where we're at. So we're going to turn these cards to the bottom of the deck right here. And what we'll do is we'll swing for 6. And then next turn, we're probably going to summon Pudding. And we're going to reduce this hand size, right? We're going to get a 2K counter here. A guard point. Okay, cool. We got a guard point. So this hand size is pretty big. Let's see what he does. I have not played against the Zoro yet. So this is... And he just quit. Okay. I don't know. I guess maybe his hand wasn't that good. I guess maybe he knew I was going to pudding him or something. Anyways, guys, that's a match with the... with the Reiju. I'm going to cut this video short because we're at, I think, what, 12 minutes here? So I think that's what we'll do. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. I'm always going to have One Piece content, guys. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Bye.